Right, welcome to a unique video here, as it is begging, pleading Games Workshop to make Astra Militarum regiments in plastic. So we have Cadians already, but it would be great to see some of the other famous Astra Militarum regiments resculpted and brought out in plastic. So I'm hoping this video does something to encourage Games Workshop in that direction. It really is going to revolve and pin on the comments and the shares and so on that you're able to leave here. I'll give more details about how you can help out with this towards the end of the video. But in this video here I want to cover the need for the Astra Militarum regiments, why I think it's a great idea. Also from a business side, I think it would be a great idea for Games Workshop as well, because they are a company out to make money at the end of the day. So I think it'd be good business sense for them to do it also. And then I've also got a whole structure here as well that potentially Games Workshop could use to make this whole thing work well. And they're sort of based on sort of more recent releases and ideas that Games Workshop have been using. So stay tuned for all those details. Fair bit to cover. I've got some scrappy notes I've made here, but really want to try and cover all these points, just give you a whole idea of how this could work, and hopefully maybe in the not too distant future we'll see the start of these regiments starting to be released, and it would be a great thing for Warhammer 40,000 in general. So I've contacted some of the other larger YouTube channels as well. I've been talking to Lawrence from Tabletop Tactics, Winter's SEO as well. They all think it's a great idea, and I've asked if they will help whichever way they can. You may well see them commenting in this video below as well, but they think it's a great idea. And Lawrence was saying from Tabletop Tactics, it's amazing that Games Workshop haven't done this yet. So you know, it seems to be it's not just my idea. It's a lot of people really want to see these regiments become available. It'd be a great thing for sure. So I think Games Workshop may well do this, because we've seen a variety of Chaos Cultists coming out in different box sets, different versions of them. If Games Workshop can do that for just the Chaos Cultists, then surely they can then do it for these Astra Militarum regiments. I can't see that being a problem at all. I will cover sort of how they could go about doing this as well as we go along. Astra Militarum, a massive faction here, a huge following, perhaps second after Space Marines. Loads of followers of Astra Militarum, very popular. Battle reports of them, always very popular. The painted tutorial on the channel here, very popular. A lot of people get into Astra Militarum, and it is a fantastic range to collect. You know, the tanks are brilliant, the tactics for them, and the way you can structure the army, the ranks of infantry, just a fantastic looking faction for sure. But it's sad that it's sort of the new generation coming through really only know Cadians. Previous generations, you know, when they sculpted the other regiments in lead, you had access to these other Astra Militarum regiments. But now it's sort of stagnated with just Cadians. I think that's a massive shame. And the other regiments are fantastic. So in the rulebook here, page 70. There's these other regiments that Games Workshop can produce. There's the Cadians just there. I'll zoom in actually so you can take a closer look, because not everybody will be familiar with these. So there's Cadians just there. Kadachan Jungle Fighters, a jungle fighting regiment. Games Workshop had released them in plastic, bit old now though really, but there were elements of them done in plastic. There's a decent command squad actually for them, really good. So that probably wouldn't need to be redone. Valhalla Ice Warriors, fantastic theme of them fighting in the snow. Vostrian Firstborn, that was one of the more recent to a degree releases that Games Workshop made, all in lead for them. Death Corps of Krieg, Armageddon Steel Legion, fantastic in lead. Here, Talon Desert Raiders released in lead, a desert fighting theme with them, brilliant. And the Mordian Iron Guard as well, fantastic regiment. So you can see the massive variety here. It's not like these regiments are a slight variation of the Cadians. There's massive differences in style for these, even though they're all Astra Militarum regiments. So the variety is fantastic. So people have said got a lot of questions here. People saying, well, when are you going to do Astra Militarum Tactics videos? When are you going to start collecting your own? James has a massive collection of them, as you've seen in different battle reports and so on. I just can't bring myself to collect another army. Perhaps change the colour scheme, but another army of Cadians. We've got enough of those, you see, and sort of like many other Astra Militarum players, sort of stuck at Cadians, and then there's nowhere else to expand out to. But if Games Workshop started producing these, and I think it'd be straightforward enough. If they did, I'd struggle to choose which. Probably have to go for a couple of different regiments. Yeah, and you could tie them in as allies. So you're collecting Space Wolves, for example, and you could add in some Valhalla Ice Warriors to match up with them, fighting on the Ice Worlds and so on. Fantastic. Maybe you collect Cadians, but then you could incorporate a few units of Mordi 9 Guard into perhaps the centre of your army, just to add a bit of variety that way. Loads of options. Red Scorpions, Primaris Marines fighting the desert, take a detachment of Talaran Desert Raiders to hang around with them. You know, the potential for taking varieties here for allies is brilliant. So another great option there also. So from a business point of view, you know, I've been to Warhammer World, and when I was there, you'd see staff members, and they're all playing the games. And I go into the restaurant they had there, and there was staff members, ones I recognised from White Dwarf and so on, and they were playing the games. So the Games Workshop is made up of hobbyists for sure, but on the other end of the spectrum, they are a business at the end of the day, and they do need to make money. And so, you know, it's not something I'm asking for in vain. I think, well, this is, you know, it'd be a great idea, but it's doomed to fail. I think this could work commercially as well, really well also. So I think there's already a massive following for Astra Militarum regiments, so Games Workshop will tap into that as soon as these released. I think there's a lot of Astra Militarum players, and by all means leave this in the comment section that if you feel the same way, you're sort of stuck at Cadians, but would be more than happy then to spread out into other regiments if they became available in plastic. And there's a lot of potential collectors as well. So a lot of people that say, oh, I'd love to collect Astra Militarum, I've got other armies, love to collect Astra Militarum, but I really don't want to get Cadians, everyone's already got them. But if the variety was there, then you'd have a whole lot of new people getting into Astra Militarum as well. So massive base there for Games Workshop to build on for the sale of these box sets, which I'll cover as well. I've got a whole structure of how they could go about releasing these regiments. So the way Games Workshop could go about doing this is they could just say, right, we're going to release an Astra Militarum regiment and it arrives. But the way they could do it is to incorporate one of these regiments, whichever one they want to go for, and incorporate it into the continuing story of Warhammer 40,000. So they have these sets like Forgebane, Shadow Spear and so on. They could do a box set like that, fighting on some Imperial world somewhere, or a regiment's been called in to help out, and they introduce these new sculpts in through the box set, and then some other faction, a Chaos army or whatever it might be, a Xenos faction or whatever, to face against them in that box set. So it'd be a great way of bringing them in into the current storyline of 40k. And then after that, the box set comes out, they then do the individual box sets that you can buy just as normal after that. I think that's the best way to do it. So what they can do, and they've done it already, unless these codex supplements or mini codexes, and this can be either inside the big box set, like Forgebane for example, that mini codex can be in there, or it can be for individual sale. But inside that mini codex, you know, it's a soft cover, not many pages long if you've seen the ones that are available in Shadow Spear and so on. So then what you'd have is your standard Astra Militarum Codex, you buy that for all your standard units, and then you get the Codex supplement for that particular regiment. So that Games Workshop don't have to produce a whole big Codex, they can just release a Codex supplement that goes along with the standard Astra Militarum Codex, and that's got the unique units in and so on. And inside that mini Codex would be your background history for the regiment, say it's Talaran Desert Raiders, so all the history of where they're from, how they started and so on. And then inside there would also be your colour schemes and regiment markings and tank markings and so on, just a helpful painting reference guide. And then you then have your rules for the unique units to them, regiment traits, warlord traits, relics that are unique to Talaran Desert Raiders, and some stratagems unique to them as well. So you've got Astra Militarum, but each regiment has its own play style and theme. So, you know, some major on mechanization and tanks, others on more lightly armed infantry perhaps, others on speed and raids, that kind of thing. So each regiment has its own theme, and you can reflect that in the rules and with this unique codex supplement. So that's why I think they could do it. That way they can capture all the rules that they need in that mini codex, and that can just be, you can just have your standard Astra Militarum Codex and then choose your supplement for the relevant regiment. So that would be straightforward enough. Very, very straightforward, I think. just there. So then, really, I think to do justice to a regiment, I think it would be 4 box sets that Games Workshop would need, and then a sprue here. So the sprue would just be an upgrade sprue for vehicles. So say it's Tyranids Desert Raiders, you can buy your standard Leman Russ, and then Games Workshop make available a small sprue, and that's got some unique upgrades that you can then attach onto your vehicles just to make them unique to that regiment. That would just be a vehicle upgrade sprue. Easy enough. So there's that one. Then I think Games Workshop would need to. The other great thing is, as soon as someone collects a new regiment, say Tyranids Desert Raiders, they're going to be buying existing Astra Militarum units anyway. So it's going to boost the sales of those as well. So you're going to get unique units for Tyranids Desert Raiders, but then players are also going to be buying, your vehicles, like the tanks and so on, and Valkyries and whatever as well. So it's going to boost the sales of the existing units also. But like what they would need here is a box set for an HQ box set. So that's your regimental, platoon command, all your banners and so on inside that HQ box set. Then you need a troops choice, obviously. So a standard unit of 10 with your weapons options and all sculpted up. Fantastic. And then the other thing about Astra Militarum, it's not going to be, right, I'll have 1 HQ and 1 troops. This is going to be Imperial Guard players, so they're going to be buying 10 boxes of troops. It's easy enough to try and put an army together. So, this is a high volume of sales here as well. I'm just trying to think of it from a commercial point of view to hopefully this will work. And then heavy weapons team as well. I think Games Workshop will need to do that. So you get your heavy weapons box set and all of the crew sculpted, say Tyranids Desert Raiders. Just there. If they introduce a new weapon, maybe, but I don't think they need to. And then finally, this is optional, but I think Games Workshop must do this. For each regiment, a unique unit release of some kind. So a unit that's unique to that regiment, say a unit of cavalry, for example, for the Tyranids Desert Raiders. You imagine them sculpted up in plastic, and it's unique specifically to that regiment. I think would be a fantastic idea. Really would. So really you've got the mini codex, no problem at all, and then your 4 standard box sets, your upgrade sprue for tanks. I don't have to do that, but I think it'd be a good idea, and that would be all you'd need to make that regiment fully furnished and ready to go. So I hope that's given you an idea of how Games Workshop could do that. I think that makes sense. If you agree with what I was saying, again, leave that in the comment section. I want to see as many comments as possible here in this video. And whether you think this will work or not, again, leave that in the comment section. This video really hinges on the comments and feedback and the likes and shares of yourselves, the viewers here. And so, the more attention this video gets, and hopefully the more influence it will have with Games Workshop. So, yeah, the way you can help here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to release this video, and what I'm asking you to do is to like the video. The aim is to get 1,000 likes on this and 10,000 views. I think that's a good enough impact. If it goes beyond that, then that's all the better. But that depends on yourselves here. So please like the video, hit the like button and push it up. We'll try and reach 1,000 likes on this. Share the video with as many people as you can. And that's really going to help push up the views and to try and get Games Workshop's attention on this. And then the comments section, this is big here, and this is where you can really help out. So leave your comments here. I want to see a flood of comments begging Games Workshop to produce these plastic regiments. Just say, I'm an Astra Militarum player, I've collected Cadians, I haven't bought any new, maybe I haven't bought any new Astra Militarum stuff, waiting for something to happen, waiting for a new regiment to come out. Maybe you're in the same situation as me. Then as many comments as possible would be great for that. And so what I'm going to do in the comment section, if you scroll down, I'm going to write out each of these regiments here. So what do you have, Cadians? So Katchans, Valhallans, Vostrins, Mordinine Guard, Tyranids Desert Raiders, Armageddon, Steel Legion, Deathcore Creek. I'm going to put a comment for each with their name. If you want to see that regiment, then hit the thumbs up. And it'll give us an idea of which regiment's the most popular, which one's the most in demand, and that may well help Games Workshop out as well. You can vote for multiple regiments if you wish, it's no problem. But make sure you scroll down the comment section, give a thumbs up to any of these regiments that you really want to see go into production. That'd be fascinating to see which of these are the most in demand. So if you are a YouTube channel watching this, then feel free to try and push this video as well. I've already been in contact with Lawrence Winters. They said they'll help out in any way that they can as well, and it's just purely just to try and catch the ear of Games Workshop here. We know that they do listen. They've changed the way they approach things now. We know they do listen to their fans and followers, and so I'm hoping this video with all the ideas here will give them something to work on. Who knows, maybe they are working on something in the background, or they're thinking about it. Hopefully this video will push them in the right direction. So once it's hit a good amount, I can then I'll then approach my contacts at Games Workshop, so I'll send it directly to them as well. So I've made contacts over the last few years with Games Workshop, a number of their workers there. They send out books for review, codexes and so on, products for review. So there is some contact now with Games Workshop, and so I can forward this video on to them and try and catch their attention that way as well. But I'll wait, I think, until the views and the likes and the comments have been coming in, and then I can send it on to them and say, well, this video's had some impact here, and then hopefully we will see these regiments start to appear. My personal favourite, guys, so tough, would be the Talon Desert Raiders. Just the whole colour scheme, the desert theme going on with them, absolutely superb regiment. That's my favourite. Again, leave your own comments, whichever one's your favourite here, and remember to hit the thumbs up on the different regiments in the comment section below. But that would be my favourite. And then I also like, very close second is the Valhalla Ice Warriors. If they came out, I reckon I'd still have to collect those as well, because they're absolutely brilliant theme with them, and I do a snow theme with those for sure. And then the 49 Guard as well, I think I'd have to get some of those. So those are the three that I really like. I'd love to see those become available in plastic. Maybe we'll get to see them in the future. I'm hoping this video will do something to help push Games Workshop in that direction. They do listen to their fan base, and so if there's a big enough outcry here, and I hope this video does something to help, then maybe they'll listen and we will have the dream come true of seeing these plastic regiments maybe in the near future. But there it is, that's the video. Please like the video, share it with as many people as you can, leave as many comments as possible in the comment section below, and vote for your favourite Astra Militarum regiments as well. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time.